So this is a precision tool that now allows us to take this protein RNA complex and introduce it into cells or tissues to correct mutations at sites where we know there's a deleterious change in the genetic code. So I wanted to show you an example of how this can be utilized. This protein complex can actually be injected directly into fertilized eggs of a mouse. And in the experiment you'll see, we're targeting a gene that is responsible for the black coat color in mice. And so normally these mice have beautiful glossy black coats, and once we make this targeted change, we then implant these edited eggs back into a female mouse, and when she gives birth to pups, you'll see that the pups are now mostly white. And the remarkable thing about this experiment is that when these mice grow up, you can test them and show that every cell in the body has this single genetic change that gives rise to the white coat color, but otherwise they're absolutely normal. So they are normal mice, no mutations elsewhere in the genome. This is a type of experiment that used to take at least a year to create a mouse like this, and now it can be done in a few weeks and by people that don't have to have special expertise. So this is a technology it's been very exciting over the last 2.5 years to see this technology taking off. These are publications in the scientific literature. It's been sort of exponential growth of publications, people using this technology for all sorts of applications. And so some of these include making changes, targeted genetic changes in plants, in fungi, in animals that are important agriculturally, in animals that are important to us as pets, and also in thinking about human health, also to do things like make changes in stem cells, which are cells that can give rise to new organs. Also to make changes in animals that are important as models of human disease, such as mice and monkeys. And we think within the not too distant future, it will be possible to actually use this technology to make changes in humans.
Do yourself a favor right now, click on the link in the description, grab my code, and get a massive discount on this ultra bright rechargeable survival flashlight. You can hang it on any metal surface, it's durable, the charge lasts forever, you don't need batteries because it's powered by the sun or with a wall outlet. You can use it to charge your cell phone from 0 to 100%. It's got multiple emergency flashing modes plus a shop light function. There's a glass breaker, a seatbelt cutter, a compass, and an emergency siren. Guys, this thing is frickin' bright. Grab one while you can. The link's in the description.
How well are things going in the country today? Only 21% say things are going well. I want to put that in some historical context for you. 21% is the low point. This goes back, in fact, off this chart, Jake. You have to go back to 2009 to find a time when the American electorate was this dissatisfied with the way things were going in the country. And when we ask specifically about economic conditions and we say, can you rate the economic conditions today? Look at this number. 82% of respondents in this poll say economic conditions in America are poor. Only 18% say that economic conditions are good.
17 House Democrats were arrested yesterday outside of the Supreme Court during a pro-abortion protest. Protesting in front of the highest court is not illegal, but blocking the street between the Supreme Court and the Capitol is illegal. Members of the squad turning the protest into a spectacle yesterday, with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez pretending that she was handcuffed. All for show, before pumping her fist to a crowd of cheering supporters. She's putting her hands behind her back as if she's handcuffed. There were no handcuffs to be seen. I guess putting your hands behind your back as if you have handcuffs makes it look better. It's more dramatic.
Well, I thought the whole thing was set up. I think the whole thing was set up very well, Maria. We had the nice scarf, makeup and hair did well. We broke rank only one time. I thought she probably could have got the Best Actress award if she hadn't have just broke that moment when she had to put the fist up and then put it real quickly back. But other than that, it was a made-for-TV moment for just no purpose at all.
Well,
it's really sad.
What is the
my
point?
Former colleague John. It's just sad. The point is just to bring attention to myself. I have to say this: AOC is and the squad are the best at one thing: self-promotion. That's all this was about. I guess the attention wasn't on them enough to lately, so they decided to go out and get, basically fake arrested, make sure their photos, mugshots look good.
Folks, get your video on that. There's just been an incident here.
My goodness, something's just blown out.
Explosion and a fire. We're going to be leaving now, so we're going to get trapped in there.
Something has just blown out.
No one is there. They just sounded the alarm. It's still on fire, smoking a lot. The bridge we're standing on is shaking a lot. Cars down below there. And we saw it explode. It was very big.
I don't know why you're all so surprised the way I react. No one's ever wondered that I mean what I say. The question is I sometimes say all that I mean.
The average household uses 17% of their electricity for air conditioning. And that would mean the average household uses 1,870 kilowatt hours per year for air conditioning. If that average household plugged in electric cars, do you know how much more electricity they would use in comparison to the air conditioning that air conditions their whole house?
No, but again, I would emphasize it will
Well, let me help you with
overall.
that first before we go on, because the numbers are important. It would take 4 times as much electricity to charge the average household's cars as the average household uses on air conditioning. Do you think that could be? So if we reach the goal by 2030 that Biden has of 50% adoption instead of 100% adoption, that means the average household would use twice as much electricity charging one of their cars as they would use for all of the air conditioning that they use for the entire year.
So I'm here to ask you to do what you know how to do, because when you do what you do on all of these issues, the American people win.
السادة الكرام، إننا نثمن الهدنة بين الأطراف اليمنية ومبادرة المملكة العربية السعودية إلى
لكافة شعوب الشرق التي بحث سبل تطويرها للارتقاء بمقومات
للتأكد من